Welcome to Relaxed Reddit Readings. Today we have 4 Reddit stories for you. Reddit stories that will make you question your own family. Story 1. My mom has been secretly stealing money from my bank account. So my mom has been stealing money from my bank account and thinks it's totally fine. I'm 15 and I've been watching my money just disappear from both my savings and spending accounts over the past couple weeks. Like I'd put $50 in my spending account and boom, the next day it's down to $10. I started freaking out thinking someone was using my card or something, so I went to my dad to figure out what was going on. We checked everything and guess what? It was my mom taking my money. At first I thought maybe it was an accident since she sometimes gets confused with our accounts, but when we confronted her about it, she just shrugged and said she needed the money for bills and stuff. She acted like it was no big deal because I'm her kid and I live under her roof. I was so mad I started yelling at her, telling her that's literally stealing and she can't just take my money without asking. She got defensive and said I was being dramatic and that everything she does is for the family anyway. But here's the thing. This is money I earned from my part-time job and birthday gifts from relatives. I work hard for this money and I'm trying to save up for things I want. My dad seemed uncomfortable with the whole situation but didn't really take sides, which honestly made me even more frustrated. My mom keeps saying that as long as I live in her house, what's mine is hers, especially since she pays for my food and everything else. She thinks I'm being ungrateful and selfish. But I feel like even if I'm 15, I should have some control over my own money that I earned. It's not like I'm asking to pay rent or anything, I just want my money to stay where I put it. Some of my friends said their parents do the same thing, but others think it's totally wrong. Now there's this weird tension in the house and my mom keeps making comments about how I don't appreciate everything she does for me. Am I being a spoiled brat here, or do I have a right to be upset about this? If you're enjoying these stories, hit that like button and let me know in the comments which story you relate to the most. Story 2. My dad makes disgusting sexual jokes about me and calls me a liberal. So my dad makes sexual jokes about me and when I get upset, he calls me a stuck-up liberal. I'm 17 and I honestly don't know how much more of this I can take. Like literally yesterday, he made a joke about me and my 14-year-old brother in a sexual situation, and when I raised my voice saying, "Stop, that's disgusting," he just laughed and called me a liberal like it was some kind of insult. He constantly makes comments about me in sexual situations and it makes my skin crawl. One time he said if I move out too soon, I'll end up living as someone's object just to make ends meet. It's absolutely vile and I can't understand how he thinks this is normal father-daughter conversation. Every time I try to set boundaries or tell him these comments make me uncomfortable, he just doubles down and acts like I'm the problem for being too sensitive. He'll say things like, "It's just a joke," or, "You need to lighten up," but there's nothing funny about a father talking about his teenage daughter that way. The worst part is that he does this in front of other family members and they just sit there awkwardly or sometimes even laugh along. My mom doesn't really stand up for me either, she just tells me to ignore him or go to my room if I don't like it. I've tried talking to her privately about how uncomfortable this makes me, but she says that's just how he is and I shouldn't take it so seriously. But it is serious to me. These aren't harmless dad jokes, they're gross and inappropriate and they make me feel unsafe in my own home. I've started spending more time at friends' houses or staying late at school just to avoid being around him. When I do that, he gets mad and says I'm being antisocial and difficult. I can't win. I've looked up information about this kind of behavior and everything I read says it's not normal or okay, but my family acts like I'm overreacting. I'm counting down the days until I turn 18 and can move out, but I shouldn't have to live like this. Am I really being too sensitive, or is this as messed up as I think it is? Story 3. I brought my own lunch to a catered meeting and everyone lost their minds. So I brought my own lunch to a catered work meeting and apparently I committed some kind of social crime. I'm a hairstylist and every couple months we have these salon meetings where we go over achievements, goals, upcoming promotions, you know the drill. If we hit our retail sales goal for the month, my boss will have lunch catered for the next meeting, which is pretty cool. The thing is, these meetings are usually between shift changes, like 1 to 3 p.m., and I work 3 to 9. On a normal day, I eat at home around 1 and leave for work at 2:15, because it's not guaranteed that I'll have time to eat during my shift depending on how busy we are. So I always eat before work. Well, this particular meeting day, I had my usual lunch at home and then packed a small container of leftover Chinese food to eat during the meeting because I knew I'd be hungry again by then. I figured it was no big deal since I wasn't taking any of the catered food. When I got to the meeting, everyone was eating this fancy spread that our boss had ordered, and I quietly pulled out my little container and started eating. That's when things got weird. My coworker Sarah looked at me like I just slapped her grandmother and asked why I brought my own food when there was perfectly good catered food right there. I explained that I'd already eaten lunch and this was just a small snack, plus I didn't want to seem greedy taking the catered food when I wasn't really hungry for a full meal. But apparently that was the wrong answer because suddenly everyone's staring at me like I'm some kind of weirdo. My boss looked kind of hurt and asked if there was something wrong with the food she'd ordered. I tried to explain that it looked delicious and I appreciated her getting it for us, but I just had different timing with my meals. Then another coworker chimed in saying it was rude to bring outside food to a catered event and that it made it look like I didn't appreciate the gesture. I honestly had no idea this was even a thing. I thought I was being considerate by not taking food I didn't need, but apparently I was supposed to just not eat anything or force myself to eat a second lunch. The whole rest of the meeting was awkward and I could tell people were talking about it afterward. Now I'm wondering if I really did mess up some unspoken workplace etiquette rule. Was I supposed to just go hungry or overeat to be polite? Story 4. My best friend's wife wants to end our 10-year friendship over jealousy. So my best friend's wife wants to destroy our 10-year friendship because she's convinced something's going on between us. I'm a 32-year-old woman and my best friend T is 33. We met online through gaming over a decade ago and have maintained this amazing friendship ever since. We've met in person several times and he actually met his wife around the same time he met me, so we've all known each other forever. I thought we all got along great. I'm happily married to my beautiful wife, so there's never been anything romantic between T and me. We just have this really honest, close friendship that I treasure. Well, apparently his wife has been harboring some serious resentment because she recently contacted me saying she's no longer comfortable with me being so close to her husband. She wants me to basically disappear from his life. She said she's always felt like I was too close to him and that our friendship makes her insecure in her marriage. The thing is, I've always tried to be respectful of their relationship. I don't call or text excessively, I don't try to monopolize his time, and I've always been supportive of their marriage. When they've had rough patches, I've encouraged him to work things out with her. I've never tried to come between them or make her feel threatened. But she claims that the very existence of our friendship is a problem for her and she wants it to end completely. She said she's given it years of trying to be okay with it, but she just can't handle it anymore. The crazy part is, T doesn't even know she contacted me about this. She asked me to just gradually distance myself without telling him why, which feels incredibly manipulative to me. I'm not willing to just ghost someone who's been such an important part of my life for over 10 years, especially not without an explanation. But I also don't want to cause problems in his marriage. I've been going back and forth on what to do. Part of me thinks I should tell T what his wife said because he deserves to know what's happening behind his back. But another part of me worries that will just create more drama and potentially damage their relationship even more. I've never dealt with anything like this before and I'm honestly heartbroken that it's come to this. This friendship means the world to me, but I also don't want to be the reason someone's marriage falls apart. Should I just walk away to keep the peace, or do I owe it to my friend to fight for our friendship? If you enjoyed these stories, drop a comment telling me which one was your favorite. And if you want more relaxed Reddit readings, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed these stories, like, comment and subscribe for more relaxed Reddit readings.